Part 2, Chapter 10, Arabia. The big question: how can we describe the environment into which Muhammad was born? The Middle Ages, Part 1, revealed a time in Western Europe when the Christian Church slowly replaced the Roman Empire. You learned about the extraordinary power of the Church and its complex relationship with rulers and the nobility. While Western Europe became Christian, other powers and ideas arose in the rest of the former Roman Empire. In the East, a new religion emerged: Islam. From the 7th century CE, the followers of this religion, Muslims, created enormous empires that lasted hundreds and hundreds of years. Muhammad, the founder of Islam, was born hundreds of years after Jesus, but both men had such a tremendous influence shaping the world in which we live. Today, Christianity and Islam are the two largest religions in the world. More than half of the world's population, over 4 billion people, is either Christian or Muslim. The Byzantine Empire and Arabia. Muhammad was born at a time of enormous change. The Roman Empire had dominated for centuries. It had covered land that more than 40 different countries occupy today. Europe, large parts of Africa, and the Middle East were all once part of the Roman Empire. Many believed it would last forever. They were wrong. The Roman Empire became too big to govern, splitting into two. Over time, the Western Empire collapsed and medieval Europe emerged. In the East, the empire continued for 1,000 years under a different name: the Byzantine Empire. Muhammad was born in Arabia, a part of the world greatly influenced by the Byzantine Empire. Arabia benefited from Byzantine trade. For many centuries, the West had traded with the East. Trade ran along the famous Silk Road from Western Europe all the way to India and China. Although travel would take months or even years, caravans and ships endlessly carried glass, cloth, and silver and gold to the East and brought back silk and spices in return. People then, like today, wore clothes made in China, although Chinese silks were affordable only to the wealthiest. Trade across the empire, including along the Silk Road, benefited the people of Arabia. Arabians also traded with people outside of Arabia, many becoming merchants with their own trade caravans. Some became very wealthy. But not all of the contact with the Byzantines was positive. As was typical at the time, the Byzantines were always looking to conquer new territories and become more powerful and influential. They waged war against rival empires and used smaller, less powerful nations to help them. One of the biggest rivals of the Byzantine Empire was the Persian or Sasanian Empire. The Roman Empire had fought the Persians for hundreds of years with constant battles and wars. The Byzantine Empire carried on the struggle. Trade was one of the reasons they fought. Both empires wanted to control the taxes from trading. Arabia was wedged exactly between the Persian and Byzantine empires, often caught in the middle of the two rivals. This was a challenging position. Arabia. Arabia was a very diverse place. As people traveled, trading between the West and the East, some settled in Arabia. These included Christians and Jews who believed in one God. They were monotheistic. There were also local people who were polytheistic. Most people in Arabia lived in tribes without a formal government. Each tribe was divided into many clans. Tribes were family-based. You were born into a particular clan within a particular tribe. Clans would often fight one another, but they would also band together to fight other tribes. Your fate was tied to the others in your tribe, your family. If your clan or tribe became richer or more successful, you would find your fortunes rose or fell with theirs. Some of the Arabian tribes founded towns such as Mecca in Western Arabia, which was important for two reasons. First, it had a water well. Life was harsh and dangerous in the arid Arabian climate, and without a regular supply of water, families could not survive and settle in one place. As a result, most people were nomadic. But in Mecca, because of the water, they could stay in one place. That made Mecca a perfect town for people to settle. Second, Mecca held a famous shrine worshipped by the local polytheists, the Kaaba. See box on page 122. A tribe called the Quraysh looked after the Kaaba and traded with other towns. One day, toward the end of the 6th century CE, a boy was born into that tribe. His name was Muhammad. Camels. Camels are perfectly suited to arid climates. They can store water for days, and their humps contain fat for nutrition if they cannot get food. Sometime around 100 BCE, the North Arabian saddle was invented. This allowed camels to be used for fighting and for carrying heavy packs for trade. Without the invention of the saddle and the domestication of camels, the Islamic empires may never have existed, because trading, and later conquests, were essential to the spread of Islam. In North Africa, the Middle East, and Central Asia, camels are still used today for transporting goods. Fun fact: camels have a very effective way of keeping unwanted people away. They mix the half-digested contents of their stomachs with their saliva and then spit it all over you.